guys, it's been 6 weeks past my 6 weeks post, silly, 6 weeks post my nose fracture, and I did it. It took a little bit of time to heal and a little bit of time to adjust my training so that I didn't spar and I also didn't aggravate my nose, so I didn't do any contact with my nose to make sure that I didn't break it completely, because it was just the top of my nose. It wasn't even a big break. It was just a little tiny break, but it still hurt. It still gets swollen. It did still get swollen. I still had to ice it. I still had to make sure that I healed. I mean, it was a journey. I had to make several adjustments, but it was worth it. And so it's the new year and it's 2023, and I wanted to sit here and actually talk to you to let you know where my mindset's at now. I noticed that I'm 2 months away. I'm essentially 1 month away from making my third year on YouTube. And I can see the journey. I mean, it's been challenging. It's been challenging putting myself out there consistently. It's one thing is to just say, I have a YouTube channel. I'll post here and there. I'll post whenever I feel like it. But no, I've done it every week. But I wanted to talk about more so on a topic that Taz and I spoke about in one of his podcast episodes. He calls it Taz Knows 3 things you need to know in a fight. And so I've said it in the past. I say this every year. 3 things you need to know in a fight is yourself, your opponent, and your environment. In MMA, we do this because first you need to know yourself, who you are, what your skills are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. You need to know your environment. You need to know where you're going to fight. And then you also need to know your opponent. You're fighting somebody, so you need to kind of read who your opponent is so you can fight that person, so you can win, so you can beat them. And so one thing that Taz did mention that I wanted to bring up is that he said that your opponent is not someone physically. It's not someone like your brother or sister. It's not someone, your best friend or your partner. It's yourself. It's your mindset. And so I can know myself, right? But then I also fight my opponent every time I feel like giving up. And for the past few weeks, I go up and down emotionally because first, I'm so stubborn. I don't want to quit something that I love to do. And knowing that I broke my nose at the time, it felt like I had to stop what I love doing. And it feels limiting. And so I had to fight myself at that moment to not quit and to say, you know what? Shit happens. Let me just take a step back and think about this. Like, am I really quitting the sport, or is this just a minor setback so I can continue to move forward? And so I fought myself, right? I fought myself from not thinking too negative because I'm so used to doing that. But now it's like, you know what? I don't want to be like that anymore, right? So I actually take the time to analyze where my thoughts come from and why am I so negative. And lately I've been spending so much time around good people that I don't have time to be negative. Like, the people that are negative, I completely ignore them because I don't need to put myself there. I don't need to be surrounded by that environment anymore. And so I clearly don't. And this past year, I was so selective with my energy that I realized that it was nobody but me. The self-doubt, the depressive moments. I also had to stop drinking coffee for a little bit because I was feeling this anxiety, right? I was feeling like something was off. I felt like something bad was gonna happen, and that's not a nice feeling to have. So even with previous goals that I've set in the past about being better mentally, physically, emotionally, a big part of me and who I am also has to do with my spiritual side. So I had to dig really deep into my heart and realize that all I needed was to touch my spiritual side and I had to get in touch with that side, and I had to get in touch with myself and actually face all the things that were really in my heart that didn't let me live freely. And so now this fight that I go through on a somewhat regular basis, the fights that I go every day, the fights of me being tired, like to go to work, and even that put up a phase that I don't want to make, right? And then after that, it's just like, damn, now I gotta get through that tiredness to go to the gym, and then the laziness kicks in, and it's like, damn, I don't want to go to the gym. And then after that is like, damn, I don't want to post anything on social media because I'm tired. I feel tired physically, but as long as I'm okay mentally, like if I'm open about who I am, then everything is doable. And that's what I realized in 2022, and now going into 2023, I know that now, that I don't need anyone else to tell me who I am. I don't need anyone else to tell me shit for me to know who I am. And so all this digging that I did throughout 2022 is what helped me kind of realize this now. And even in the beginning of 2023, battling and just fighting my mindset from being like, shit, like, is that even worth it, right? I've asked myself, like, is that even worth doing all this? Is that even worth sharing my life on social media and branding myself? Is that even worth it? But yes, it is. It is so worth it, because there's always a sign out there that tells me, damn, girl, you doing this shit. Like, it's a great feeling. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's a great feeling knowing that, I put myself through a lot of shit, but it's finally paying off, and it's getting tougher, and I feel like I'm getting tougher mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And so my message to you is to really dig deep and know who you are. Know who you are, know what your triggers are, know what you're missing. I had to see what I was missing. I was missing my spiritual side. I was missing the gratitude and the love that I have. Like, that's why if you see me and I'm nice to you, is because I genuinely want to be nice to you. I'm a douchebag. Like, I have a douchebag looking face, and I got a douchebaggy look. And maybe I could be a douchebag sometimes, just to play around. But at the end of the day, I'm very, like, blessed. I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful of the people that I have around me, my environment, and who I am becoming. Like, I'm very grateful for that. And so I will continue to share the message. I will continue to be me. I will continue to do all these things. At the end of the day, I want you to see this, but I'm doing this for myself and for the little girl that once needed me. I want to be that person that I never had in my life. The person that needed me, needed who I am and who I am becoming. I needed that person when I was young. And so I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be that person that I needed when I was young. And that's my purpose. And so that's what I'm saying. That's just the starting of 2023 message. And it's going to get better from here. And I believe it. And I know it. And if you're out there feeling like shit, it's going to get better. Because, yeah, I feel like shit sometimes too. But guess what? There are better things out there. We have a better life than a lot of people, right? I have to be grateful for the things that I have and the people that I'm surrounded by and the good things in my life. So, yes, yeah, we can feel like shit all we want. But then again, we can't quit. We got to keep going. That's how life is. And that's how we are. And we are tough. And you are tough. And you are strong. And you're beautiful. And you're amazing. And you're powerful. And you can make it happen. And I will make it happen. Okay, man, girl, you gotta relax.